What's up? This is Metal Ness from the Dropping Loads Podcast, and you're listening to the BS Podcast Network, so stay brutal.
This podcast brought to you by OuchThatHurts.com. Visit Ouch That Hurts for music, gaming, reviews, editorials, podcasts, and more. Ouch That Hurts, HERTZ.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Save Point Podcast, episode 27. I am Dan. I'm joined here by Jesus, and possibly, maybe in the future, we'll be joined here by Steve. Maybe, but I'm glad to have you here, Jesus. How you doing?
I am slowly fighting off a cold, but I am still alive.
Well, you can talk, and that's what matters.
Yes, that's true.
Exactly. Before we kind of get into everything that we've been doing, make sure to check out the BSP Podcast Network. That's bspodcastnetwork.com. Find a whole bunch of podcasts there. And then also, Phil, go over and visit our wonderful partner, OuchThatHurts.com. That's OuchThatHurts, HERTZ.com. You'll find videos and reviews and fun video game stuff. They really got to come out with a tagline, I think. So we can tell, because I think I make that up every single time.
It's rough. I've been kind of working on a slogan myself for my show, so we need something catchy, right?
Yeah,
because I like Ouch That Hurt. I like how Ouch That Hurts, and they're reading it out. It sounds 90s slogish, and I like that.
It does. I like it. Hey, and then on the other thing too, unless you don't want me to announce this, the Convoluted Podcast is now on Ouch That Hurts.
Oh yes, we just got, or my show just got affiliate as well. So yay! I am part of the family of Ouch That Hurts.
So, great people over there. Go check everything out. We are building a huge, wonderful website, wonderful hub for nerd fun stuff, and as Jesus's podcast and convoluted stuff too. So, but go and check it out. It's a great place, great people. And then on the last note of this, make sure to join our Discord if you're looking. Hit that subscribe button, hit that link, come and join us. We love to have. It's a great Discord. It's always up. And if you're not talking to me or talking to Jesus, there's a whole bunch of other people that just kind of chat in there, and it's really about anything if you really think about it, right, Jesus? Like anything you think of, we're chatting about it in there.
Yeah, we have a variety of discussions, like anything from TV shows to movies to games. Like we talk here and you guys listen.
Yeah, so come and join us. Like I said, wherever you are downloading us or listening to us, I guarantee you there's that link that's right there. If not, just go to podbean.com or ouchthathurts.com and you'll find the links there. So, Jesus, what have you been playing this week?
So, sadly, I haven't been playing much. I've been written in bed. I've just gotten the strength to get up now, but I've been watching a lot of playthroughs. I've been, like I said, in the last couple episodes, I've been catching up on Destiny since the latest update's gone up, and I'm once I get myself like in good health, I'm gonna be jumping back in that. But I did get to catch this morning a bit of the Division, kind of finally play through, like an actual run through, not the beta or anything. So I got to see a good chunk of the Division 2, and what I saw, I liked, you know. Whoa.
Oh, hello.
Whoa.
Only on YouTube?
No, Twitch.
Oh, no, sorry. I heard the background, whatever you were playing in the background. There was a movie or something? Jesus?
Whoa,
Jesus.
Sorry, that was just weird. My phone just popped off. I do apologize, all listeners. Yeah.
No worries. It's all good.
So no, yeah, the Division looking good. It's still, like you said, you actually got to try it a little bit more. So, But it's if I had a little more time for another looter shooter, it would be fun to play that. But we'll see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know, and we got a special guest like porting through. Give it one moment.
Oh,
dun-dun.
Our special guest has joined us.
Hello.
Oh, it's just Steve. He's not special.
Not special at all.
Okay, let's mute his mic. We know he was here all along. We just muted his mic.
I was saying some real racist stuff. Super racist.
Oh, wonderful.
How's it going, guys?
We're all sick except you, apparently.
Oh, awesome.
I'm not sick. You could just hear it a little bit.
Anyway,
you guys need to stop making out so much, and you won't pass germs back and forth.
So,
hey, you can't doubt our passionate love.
You know, one summer I thought I had mono. I just found out I was just really bored.
Wow.
That's an old joke. That's from Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. That's what it was.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yep. So Jesus was talking about how he was wonderful for you to join us first, Steve. How you doing?
Thank you. Oh, I'm just fine.
Wonderful.
It's great.
Jesus was
peachy keen.
Jesus was talking about how he was bedridden all week and he really didn't play any games.
Well, what else are you going to do while sitting in bed?
I'll be watching people play games.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, Steve, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Get My Daughter to Bed.
Oh, God, that's the toughest game you'll be playing for a very long time.
It's the worst minigame ever. There's like no loot boxes. It sucks.
It's all paid.
It's all
costs money.
Yeah,
those loot buckets cost you money. Those dresses, man, accessories.
Mm-hmm. Nope. You gotta get the princess nightgown and it's a whole thing. All right, what have I been playing? Let me think back. What have I been playing? Today I played about an hour, maybe an hour and a half of Just Cause 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice.
Which is fine. And I think in total, I will only ever play about an hour or an hour and a half of Just Cause 4.
Okay.
It's not a bad game at all, but it's very much a game that's very set on, it knows what it wants to be.
Yes.
And it has been for, it seems like 4 games now, which is great. And I can totally see the audience that it's for and that they will love it. And I just don't have time for another large open world type game. I just can't do it. That's just one too many. So, it's cool that it's free through the Xbox Game Pass. It was enough, and it was cool enough that I got to check it out and went, cool. This is not a bad series. I should, one of these days, if I'm bedridden sick, I'll check out this some more. But yeah, flew around and grappled the things and shot people and went, all right, I'm done.
That's kind of that's Just Cause for you.
That's kind of, I bought it when it first came out and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Just Cause, like I really like Just Cause 3. And you're right. I got into it and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to start all over with the big map like this.
Yeah, it just seemed a little daunting.
Yeah.
And the way it introduces the game, it's not extremely friendly to newcomers. They kind of like they expect that you know who the characters are already, and it's obvious that there's like a past there, like things that I was missing out that was very obvious I was missing out. They didn't do like a really good job of like previously on Just Cause, So, but the gameplay was solid. Like if you're, into an action, very much like a B movie action, experience, like it's perfect. It's great. I just don't have the time or the strength for more.
That's kind of what I wish Just Cause would turn into, because if you really watch the games from the beginning, from the first one through the fourth, the developers are like making it like a B action like movie. Like there's no way that he can get killed. It's like I can grapple up on a plane that's going 500 miles an hour, but yet I can still crawl around it, and I can balance myself on its wing and jump from one wing to another wing,
Yeah.
And then dive off of it, and then strategically land on top of a roof where everybody else is sitting there, and I can start to pick people up. It just makes it so cliched for such a B like action film that they should Just Cause 5. This is what previously happened on Just Cause 4, and it should be like a montage of what happened.
Yeah, a montage of like ridiculous over the top scenes.
Yes.
That'll just get you all like jazzed up. It's like, all right, now it's my turn. And
we really found out the chicken was Ricardo's brother,
Yeah, they should go full like telenovela.
Oh God, there you go. Thank you. You fixed it. Oh.
Yeah, telenovela. They should go full on with that, because like it seems like they're holding back a little bit. Yep. But like they could totally do it and just lean into it, kind of the way. And I didn't play very much of this; I just kind of heard about it. But Saints Row went from being a GTA clone to like this over-the-top gangster nonsense, crazy dildo bat. It's just they just.
I knew you were going to pull out the dildo bat.
Everybody pulls out the dildo.
You have to pull out the dildo bat.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, what else is there?
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah.
So like they leaned into it, right? It went from being a GTA clone to its own thing. And this, like they're on their way with this. I think they just need to take a few more steps and they'll get there.
Yeah.
So anyway, like all of that being said, I played like an hour and a half of it. So I'm not trying to review it or anything. I didn't really play enough of it, but I played enough of it. So beyond that, I played, I've put a lot of hours into a brand new game. It's a little indie title called Dawn of Man. Have you guys heard about this?
No, I have not.
No.
It is a village simulator, I guess.
Dawn of Man.
That is a loud keyboard, the loudest keyboard in the West. Good
tick
job.
tick tock tock.
It is.
It's 12,000 years ago, right?
It's yes.
Because I'm watching the trailer right now.
Yeah. Dawn of Man, yes. So it's a caveman thing, and you've got how am I trying to explain? I'm not doing a very good job of explaining this.
It's like it's a simulator, right? Like we were talking last episode of these time management kind of games.
Yeah, time management things. It reminded me a lot of Banished. Which is kind of like you assign jobs, but then the villagers get to do what they want to do. Where like in Banished, you say like, you are now a blacksmith, you are a builder, that kind of thing. And then you like say, okay, I need to have 20 tools built or, whatever. And then they go and they do it. And then when they're done, they just kind of run around and haul things around or whatever. Dawn of Man kind of takes a step back from that and says, okay, you can assign work, but your workers or your villagers just do whichever job. Like there's no job specialties, right? Whenever there's a job and someone has free time, they go and do that job. So
I like that.
It's very interesting. It's a different way to do it. And there's
it does have one thing that you do love from one of your other games that you played, and that's farm.
Oh man, there's so much farming. It's great. You unlock barley and peas. Oh man, it's the best.
Come back to us, Steve. Come back.
Okay. There's no tractors. It's fine. It's interesting though, because when the game starts off, it's very much hunter gatherer. You can you select things to hunt and you say hunt, and then whoever has the weapons, or they go and they pick up the weapons from whatever hut they're in, and then go out and they hunt the thing and rip the meat off of it and bring it back, and now you have meat. Or you say like, oh, here's some berry bushes and fruit trees. And you select that area and you say, okay, I want people to pick fruit, from this area. And there's seasons in the game. And like the big deal is surviving winter. Like that is like a hurdle to pass in the game. Like all the other 4 seasons are just preparing yourself for winter. And in fact, every time you successfully survive a winter, you get what is essentially like an experience point or an unlock point. There are these like these knowledge points that you as you do things in the game, you start gaining just knowledge, just quote unquote knowledge. Like, oh, you've hunted 5 boars, you get a knowledge, right? Like like your first boar that you kill, you gain 1 knowledge. And you kill 5 boars, there's a knowledge, and you kill 10 boars, and that's 1 knowledge. Like, because you're being repetitive at certain tasks, you're gaining knowledge in those things, and then you use that in your tech tree to unlock stuff. And you unlock enough things, and you advance to the next age. And there's Paleolithic and Neolithic and Bronze Age, Iron Age. There's like, I want to say like 6 different ages that you can go through, and each one has its own like challenges. So it's very hard to grow your population as a hunter-gatherer society, because you're sending out half your population to kill things and bring back the meat and hide, and the other half of the population is fishing and gathering fruit off the ground. Once you advance to the point of farming, and this is kind of funny that we're talking about farming again, but after your society learns how to correctly farm, that is like you get a population explosion, because suddenly food's not a big hurdle anymore, and you have extra people to do other things, with just like how it kind of really was. Farming, or the domestication of certain crops and learning, farming really was like this huge thing in human culture. And it's the same way in the game. So after farming, then suddenly you have more time for mining and such. And then you start getting into like metalworking and copper and all this other stuff. And as you advance ages, certain animals will die out and go extinct. Like the mammoths are only around for like 2 of the ages and they die out, that kind of thing. And then you start getting raiders coming to your village. So right around the time that you learn farming, you also learn about walls and building defensive towers and door or gates, city gates and that kind of thing. So you kind of have to plan ahead as how you're going to do your village. And like, there's no roads or anything like that. And so you're just kind of plopping buildings down around and, clear cutting forest, because you need the space to expand. And anyways, it's a really interesting game. I've made it to the Copper Age, and then the raiders got too much. And even before you advance to the Copper Age, a little thing pops up and says like, beware, the game's going to get really hard. Are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I was not fine. The raiders, like, because when you advance to the next age, all of your enemies are like top tier in that age already, like, because you need to keep going, but they've already gotten there, that kind of deal. So I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I'm like building walls and stuff, and all these raiders start coming in, and they've got compound bows, and I've just got like slings and spears. I'm like, oh man,
I'll throw a rock at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw so many rocks. And they're like, that's cool. And then you get an arrow to the throat, and that's that. So anyways, it's a fun game. It really gave me the vibes of Banished. So if you know what that game is, it's really similar to that. There's another game that I have my eye on that kind of splits the difference between Dawn of Man and Banished, and that is Foundation, which is just another like town builder type game. I haven't played any of it, but I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on it. It's out in like a beta form, I think, or a early access, and it's very similar. You have workers and you build buildings. The interesting thing about that game is that your workers, the paths that they walk on, the more they walk on them, it kind of creates roads, and it makes the cities look very organic, and it's kind of neat looking.
It looks nice. I'm looking at it.
It's a little cartoony too. It's got a little cartoony vibe to it, so it looks like it's a lot of fun. But that game is still being developed, and I kind of want to wait and see the direction it's going before I jump into that one. So Dawn of Man, played a ton of that. A little bit of Just Cause 4, and I think that's it. I don't think I really played anything else. I feel like that's a lie. I feel like I did play something else. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that was it. Oh, I uninstalled Apex Legends, so there's that. And I've been keeping my ear to the ground on Anthem, and there's some not good things happening with Anthem and loot.
No, well, they just released a big, what is it, update on Saturday.
Isn't that the one that broke the loot? And now everyone's like, bring back the loot. Oh no, was that the bug? The buggy loot?
Even I don't know what this is.
That was the buggy loot. The other one was before that, because it was breaking systems.
Okay, so that's the one we talked about, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god.
So I want to play more of that, but it seems like it's kind of
It's in a rocky state.
It's in a rocky state. Yeah. Same thing with Fallout 76. Like I haven't played that in weeks. I'm just like waiting for the next like content update to drop before I jump back in because it's just kind of like.
That's kind of what I'm doing right now too.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like, yeah. I mean, like I want to play it really bad, but like I don't want to play a broken game.
Exactly.
And right now it just feels that way. I've tried and tried and tried and tried, and I was really like I was the cheerleader for it, as you guys could tell. It's going to be better. I know it's going to be better. We just got to give it some time.
Yeah, need to iron out some things. It's kind of unfortunate that that's the state of games now, where it's almost like a beta is released and then they get feedback from their fans and then they finish the game. I mean, it's good and bad. Like it's good because they can't say like, or it's not like the old days and like the cartridge days where it was like, here's the game, it's done, it's never going to change. This is what it is 100%. It's kind of nice that it's a little bit malleable and things can be updated, and if there's a problem, they can be fixed, and it's not just a bug that lives in the game forever. But that being said, it seems like a lot of, I don't want to use the term sloppy, but kind of just unfinished.
Like it was rushed.
Like it seems rushed, yeah. But really, it's like, this is almost done. It's like 99% done, but we can't ever complete it. It'll never be 100% done because it'll be, tweaked and changed and updated and like forever. And I don't know if that's good or bad. Like for some games, they seem to thrive on that. On other games, it's like a death knell, like right away. So
it kind of reminds me of, and I hate bringing it up this way, but it reminds me of No Man's Sky. Like No Man's Sky is a pretty decent game now, but it's a little too late for it. If they took an extra year to finally put in the stuff that they wanted to and not rushed it out with what I feel Sony rushed them out. I'm wondering if EA rushed 2K out on Anthem and it was just like, no, you're not delaying it, you are releasing it.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, some of these games, like depending on the publisher and the developers, sometimes there's just a hard deadline, right? Yep. And then there's other developers. I haven't had enough to drink today. There are other developers that say it's done when it's done, and there's good and bad there. Sometimes it's done when it's done means you wait 10, 13 years for a game. And sometimes, some of these games like Anthem, like maybe it wouldn't be done for another 5 years. And then at that point, is it still relevant? Did another game beat it to the punch?
Exactly.
Is there another game like Anthem that's on its way that we just haven't heard about yet? And now they're like, oh, well, let's just wait another year, polish it up so that when it does debut, everyone will forget about Anthem, but EA's like happy because they already got their sales. So whatever, move on to the next thing. It's a whole industry. And it's just kind of the state of the industry right now is just a little bit disappointing. Just a little bit.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well.
Oh well. So, any other thing that you've been playing, or am I going?
No, that's it. What have you been playing?
Well, let's see. Well, I haven't been here for 2 weeks.
Oh man, where you been?
Oh, I was in Florida. Or I take that back. When you guys were recording last week, I was about 30,000 feet in the air coming back from Florida to the damn cold of Chicago. It sucked. Well, let's see. But let's say when I was in Florida, Sunday night, I played the How Do I Get Back to My Room game.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Oh yeah. Long story short, obviously I told you guys my full-time job, real life job. They sent me to Florida for a convention and we had a great time and all of that. And Sunday night, we go out to a certain place for certain adult beverages, and I was feeling good.
Oh yeah.
And after about 5 or 6 of them, I was still feeling good. Like not bad. Like I was like, okay, I could do this. Like I'm ready for bed, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then my foot hit the floor. and my body said, okay, it's time to move forward. And my head went,
Oh, no.
oh, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, oh, crap. So we end up walking back to the hotel, and I get up to my room, and I'm like, okay, yes, bed, yes. And I lay down, and I'm like, the bed feels nice. Yes. And then I lay down, and I went, nope. And I sat right back up.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And then I crawled to the bathroom. So like the way that my hotel was, so it was like I crawl over to the bathroom. I don't throw up. I did not throw up. Oh. I felt like I was going to, and I just got there to be prepared. And then what happened was I crawled kind of out of the bathroom, and like there was like a tile area where like the sink was and all of that. So I was not in where the bathroom and tub were. I went through the little room that had like the sink and all of that out, and I fell asleep on the cold, wonderful tile floor. So,
wow. Achievement unlocked. Tile floor.
So that's what I played last weekend.
Nice.
And then
Vacation Simulator.
Yeah, Vacation Simulator. I will talk about a game that actually I just sent in for my review. So that's going to be posted on ouch.hurts.com soon, which I'll talk about in a second. The other game that I played was last Saturday, and if you were in our Discord, you'll know it. It was Survival the Real Game.
And what is that?
Yeah, do tell.
Well, Steve, I know that Jesus was following. Did I tell you about our wonderful visitor that we had?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so my daughter turned 2 on the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to have, obviously I was going to Florida that weekend, so for business. So we decided to have the party last Saturday, so the 9th. And the way that my house is set up is that if you walk in the front door, you're going to be in the living room. If you get to the end of the living room, you can either make a right and go down a hallway where all the bedrooms and bathroom are, or you can keep going straight and you go into our kitchen. You'll see our kitchen area, and then if you look left, you'll see like a dining area where like the kitchen table is and all of that. And then you can go downstairs. You see a set of stairs, and you can go down. Like our stairs are like hidden inside the floor.
Okay.
Like we have a half wall. So like if you turn into our kitchen, you make a left, you'll see like a half wall. And then there's like if that wasn't there, there'd be a huge hole in our floor.
Oh, okay.
And that leads you down to the basement. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm downstairs talking to people. My wife and a couple of other people are upstairs in the kitchen. There's nobody in the living room. About 7:30, 7:45, a gentleman decided that he wanted to walk through my front door, walk through my living room, and turn into the kitchen and say hello to everybody. Nobody knew who he was. I have no idea who he was. He was higher than a kite, drunk, all of that. I mean, he even admitted it too. He basically said that he just got out of jail because his brother killed somebody a long time ago, and then he went and killed him, and he just got out.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh yeah, that's fun. So I get the what is it? I get the call. This is Dan. Can you please come upstairs? I come upstairs. Luckily my brother-in-law, who is about my size, he's skinnier than me, but he's about as tall as I am. He was already talking to the guy. So him and I started to kind of push him out of the house, and then my wife called the cops, and we stood on the front porch until the police officer showed up, and then it was the police officer that went. The one police officer came to the one side of him and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And the other officer behind him grabbed him by the pants and the shirt and said, "Okay, you're coming with me." And they put him in handcuffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. I can't sing anymore that I already owe like $20,000 in royalty. So.
Oh God.
So,
nice.
yeah, I know. So in other words, when I finally got back from Florida and we set everything up for the party or whatever, and I felt like playing the weekend, when everybody kind of was going to be leaving the house and I was going to play the weekend, I was a little preoccupied with other things because now I'm getting the calls of, when are you going to move? Is your front door working? When are you going to get an ADT system? All of that. And freaked out a little bit. I won't lie. I was freaked out, but.
Oh yeah. Anytime a stranger shows up on your property, that's freak out time.
And just decided to walk into my house.
Yeah. That's Like, at least he wasn't like violent and was just like, I mean, it seems like the dude was just like, I'm lost. Though there's a door, I'll go in there. Just whatever, you know? Like, it sounds like he wasn't being malicious. He just like wandered in. Is that, I mean, right?
And I mean, yeah, I think he didn't know where he was. I think that if we tried to show aggression towards him, like if we tried to, you know how like you if you get somebody that's drunk or high and you try, like you're like, okay, hey, I really don't want you in this room, but you try to like physically try to push that person's going to get extremely defensive.
Oh, no, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, and it's just because of them. Yeah, the escalation. So I think that was it. Like, so we were like, okay, let's try not to escalate this, but let's try to get him the hell out of my house.
Right.
So yeah, so that was fun. Yay. Succeeded though. We did get him out.
Good.
On a lighter note, I actually have been playing, and I was going to give a little bit of my thoughts and a little bit of what's in my review. I've been playing the Caligula effect Overdose. On Switch.
Okay.
Yeah. Yay.
Was Jesus knows a little bit about this.
Yeah, I know a little bit more about it. Go ahead, explain it to Steve.
So the premise that I got from it was you meet a character named You.
That's right.
Yeah. And just the letter U, but it's like a backwards U. Like I don't even know what the symbol is.
It's like a weird Greek thing.
Yeah. Some people call it Mayu, like MYU. But what happened was she steals the souls from the real world and brings them into a virtual reality called the Mobus.
Okay. I'm with you.
Now I'm saying that this is the Mobus because everything is said in Japanese. Like there's no English there's no English like spoken. It's all Japanese, so everything's all written.
Okay. So it's a subtitled game.
Yeah, it's a subtitled game.
Okay.
So basically what she does is that she has created this universe for people that are, you know, that she feels lost, and she takes their souls and she tries to make it like a utopia for people. Okay. And the way that she does this is that you live indefinitely 3 years of your life in like high school.
Okay.
So like when you're ready to graduate, like you just start all over again in high school. And it's a virtual world. Okay. So like if you were like per se like a junior, okay, or a senior in high school and you were graduating, you would get to like your graduation day and then you would start all over again as a freshman. Got it.
Yeah. And I don't know how your guys' high school time, but I think I don't want to repeat my high school days.
Oh, this sounds like purgatory. Like this doesn't sound like a fun time.
It kind of is. So what happens is, as the beginning of the game goes, you get up there and you start to give like a speech for graduation, or you're about to, and then you notice that like people are like people's faces start to get fuzzy. The way that I put in my review was that, remember like the old 90s porn channels that you couldn't watch when you were younger, so they were scrambled.
Oh, but
but they really weren't scrambled, and you would get like a half boob over there, and you were happy.
Oh man, that was the best.
Tell me that made it to the review.
It did. It actually did.
I will share that to everyone. Continue.
So like you notice this and you're like, oh wow, this is not real. And then you realize, okay, I really want to get out of this world. I want to get back to my real life. And as you're running through, you meet other people who feel the same way, and you get thrown into and you become a predominant member of what's called the Go Home Club.
Okay.
And basically it's the group that tries to keep you. They're called the Ostinato musicians. They want to keep you inside the virtual world. They look at you as traitors for anybody who wants to join the Go Home Club. And basically that's the story, is you're trying to get out and defeat these musicians so you can get out of this virtual world. So it sounds kind of like, okay, you know, go ahead.
I was saying it sounds like The Matrix.
Yeah, it basically sounds like The Matrix. It originally released it on the PlayStation Vita in 2016. and then it kind of was redone. Like there were some graphical things that happened or whatever like that, and that's why it's being re-released on the 15th of March. No, I'm sorry, on the 12th of March here, and then in Europe on the 15th of March. So like the premise is kind of like, okay, whatever. The part that shines for me though, and there's like a half a shine, and then there's a really, really big shine. So you have two things in the game. One called the causality link. So have you ever played like a Persona game?
All of them. I have a ton of them.
So have you played, Steve?
No, not at all.
Okay, so Persona, basically you're the life of a student for 1 year, and there's a story that goes on. You either solve mysteries and you pull out these personas, and we can get into a whole Persona talk that would last another 3 hours of how to do it. But they're just a lot of fun games. There's just a lot of fun, like you make decisions, and every decision that you make per day is what kind of affects you throughout the whole game. It's very Persona-like. So you kind of like make decisions on what you want to do or whatever. And one of these things that you have is that you have relationships, and you build relationships with characters. And as your bond gets stronger with them, they become like more powerful with you or whatever. Okay. In the Caligula effect, you actually can create these bonds with every single student in the school. And there's over 500 students. So like this.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like this tree of people that you actually can create relationships with is like huge, like right off the bat. It's like actually kind of overwhelming. And like if you go over and you click on one of them, like one of them might give you like a buff for defense. One of them might give you an attack power. One of them might give you, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and then what you can do is after so many missions going through, it opens up and you can start to recruit these people, and they will start to fight in your party.
Okay. Well, let me stop you there. Like, what is the gameplay like for this thing? Because I'm looking at screenshots.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
So
can I ask one thing about characters? I have a reasonable amount of knowledge of the characters. How did the characters feel for you? Because that's one of the when it comes to these kind of like.
Can I get to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually I'll get and the reason I don't want to say it now. I'll get to it through the battle system. Okay. And then it'll make more sense of how I'll determine them. So you have the battle system that goes on. So like you have your normal like cutscenes or whatever, and we're running through, the city or the school or buildings or whatever you want down the streets or whatever, and you can run into and you have random encounters. So you see people that they're affected and they'll attack you or whatever. So then you warp into a battle, and it's turn based. So what you can do is you can link 3 actions/attacks per person. So like if you have 4 people in your party, you actually can have up to 12 actions that happen. Okay. So there's a thing called the imaginary chain. So like in the top right, think of it like a music. Why can't I think of it like a music chart? Like if you're reading music. Mm-hmm. So you have like a whole bunch of lines that go across, and then you have lines that go down.
Okay.
So like each person that's lined up. So you have like your names of each person in your party all the way to the left. And then each line each vertical line that's on here, it means that one of the enemies is going to attack you. So it starts to move. And as it starts to move, they'll start to attack you. What you do is you set up attacks in here. So like if I say, hey, I want to shoot this gun, and then I want to, do an attack that's going to throw this person up into the air, and then I want to shoot them while they're in the air. What I can do is I will set that, and I'll say, okay, I'll do this attack, and it's going to throw them up in the air. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to shoot them while they're up in the air. What happens on the screen is that it projects out if you're imagining this, like it's going to happen. So like you're programming that it's going to happen. So you can see like, okay, this would be the damage that would be dealt. This is the actual effect that would happen in a perfect world. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen that way. People can dodge, they'll miss, and all of that. Okay, so you got to kind of time your actions properly. But this is where kind of like the fun strategy gets in there. So like, let's say Steve, you, me, and Jesus are the characters.
Okay.
And what I do is I can take up to 3 actions. You have 3 actions and Jesus has 3 actions. So like, let's say I have 3 enemies. I want to use my 3 actions to throw them up into the air. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my 1 action is I'm going to throw the first enemy up into the air. What I can do then is that I can then program you to take one of your actions. And let's say you had like a shotgun shot or you have like guns that you can shoot at them. Mm-hmm. I want you to shoot at the guy that's up in the air as I throw him up in the air.
Okay.
Okay. So then that's going to be like your action, your first action. And then I'm going to go over and my second action is going to happen after your first action. And I'm going to throw up the second guy up into the air and we're going to repeat this process. Mm-hmm. Now where Jesus comes in and says, okay, we're going to be dealt, attack and the enemy is going to hit us. So you and I are going to take damage. As he takes damage, like after our second move, each move, so there'd be 4 moves total that you and I would have done. Mm-hmm. After like the 4th move, I can then program Jesus to say, I want to heal them. And then I want to debuff off the shields, off the other guy, off the enemies. So then I'm going to send that. Or I can have, like Jesus debuff the enemy's shields, and then I can do my actions, and then you can do your actions. So like you can kind of like mix and match where these attacks happen. So it's not like an order. Like everybody says, okay, turn based. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be like, okay, Dan does his attack, and then Jesus does his attack, and then Steve does his attack. Like you can mix and match them in and create scenarios. Like you can get them to the point where you push them all together. And then if there's like a zoned attack, you can have them, in that zone, and you can have that person hit the attack button with that zone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that sounds really interesting. I've always been kind of turned off by turn-based just because of it just doesn't seem, it's never really clicked with me. But this whole like programming thing sounds really interesting, especially if you have 500 characters where like each one has their own special skills. That's a lot to mix and match to create.
See now that's where, so like I was like, oh, okay, so this is really cool. And like I was watching a couple of like trailers or whatever like that, and it's like you can like really set up like some massive damage, like counters, like combos. Like it looks amazing, Sooner or later, it felt like people started to blend in, and maybe it's just because it's hard for the dialect. Like if it was in English to me, I think maybe I would be able to separate out a lot of these characters, but there's a lot of characters. It was just like, okay, so this person knows this person. Oh yeah. And that's the other thing. Like you can't just randomly go up to people. Like you might have to know one person to get to this person, or this person's going to completely ignore you if you try to talk to them.
Oh, like you have to be introduced to them or something.
Yeah. So it's like, you got to kind of like do that. And it's just like, so, and everybody has a Japanese name. So everybody's speaking Japanese. Yeah, and then, the one kind of culture thing in Japan is that you have school uniforms. Mm-hmm. So like everybody's wearing the same school uniform. And then after a while, it's like the character like models just started to like blend into each other. So it's just like, I was just like randomly clicking on people like, okay, who are you?
Do I know who you are? Yes.
Yeah. And then I would go back. So, I mean, it's a little daunting on that end. And then, like I said, everybody's speaking Japanese to you. So it's like sooner or later, all the girls sound the same and all the guys sound the same. So, I mean, I had fun playing the game. I mean, when you actually get a good set of characters that you can go into there and they can help fight with you and all of that. I mean, it's a lot of fun to like, that's what saves the game for me. Like the story is kind of like, okay, I could give or take the story. I thought it's a cool premise, but it's the battle system that really gets me. But the last thing I'm going to say about it is graphically, you could tell that it was made in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, and for the Vita. So like the cutscenes look really pretty. The anime like actual like cartoon scenes look great. The dialogue scenes look great, but then like when you're walking around, like you got that flat surface. Like if you're looking at it one way, it looks 3D, but then when you look at it from the side, you'll realize, oh, it's a flat surface. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like there's no context to it.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of threw me off a little bit about it too. So I mean, it's not a bad game. Would I say go run out and grab it right now? I mean, if you're looking for a fun JRPG that's a little different, yeah, but if you're not, this is not going to make you want to run out and grab it.
This sounds like it wouldn't be good for like a first timer's RPG or JRPG.
No, it's not.
And the other thing with this, like I was thinking, like this sounds interesting. I'd like to try this. What's the price point? Because if this is a $60 game, I'd say, nah. But if it's a $30 game, I'd be like, you know what? I might drop some money to buy something like this because that seems like it might be worth it to just check it out.
I can actually look it up because it was originally released, like I said, on the Vita, and then it got released obviously on. I played it on Switch, but I think it's on the PlayStation. And I think it's on Steam.
Oh, it's on Steam. Interesting.
Yep, it is on Steam, and it's $50.
$50.
Yeah, just shy of 60.
So that seems like the kind of thing where I'd put it on my wish list and wait for the summer sale or the winter sale and see how much it is, how much it's gone.
There's the one I would have bought for $120.
Oh no!
Yeah.
The limited edition.
What does that come with? Does it come with a school uniform?
No, let's see here. It comes with a nice box, a steel case, soundtrack, a little doll. Not bad.
Oh boy.
Not bad.
Oh boy.
I will say one thing. The other thing too is and I know I'm going to completely murder this name, and I completely apologize.
Go ahead and try and.
So the writer for it, for the actual game is Tadashi Satomi, and he did the Persona series. He did Revelations Persona, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, and Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, which was really good. And then the composer of former composer of Megami Tensei, what is it? Tsukasa Masuko. I think I said his first name properly. I apologize if I didn't. But Masuko, so he did a lot for like the Tensei games, and he's absolutely, it's wonderful. Like the music is great. Like, so like when you're talking with somebody or whatever, and it's kind of serious or whatever, he's got that like nice mellow stuff that goes through. But like when you're getting into battle, like the hard guitar riffs come in and all of that. So it's like the music is really good.
Oh, cool. So
I mean, like I said, my actual full review of me not just babbling the way that I did, is going to be put up on offsethertz.com soon. I'm hoping within the next couple of days. Hopefully before this is actually posted, it'll actually already be up.
Nice.
And you'll kind of see my final score with it. But yeah, it was a fun game to play. It's not a, like I said, it's not one of those ones that, if, I was going to ever run out and grab, but, I'll definitely play it again. I'll definitely continue to play it.
And if the story's what you're in for, you can just watch the anime to your own discretion. Mm-hmm. I only got halfway. The story fell apart for me.
Oh.
The music was great. The music the music for the anime was great because it was a translation from the Vita game. So the composing for the anime was wonderful, but
wait, when you say anime, there was like a full like movie produced?
Yeah, there's a full 12 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's cool. I like I said, I had an idea. I like the premise that they were trying to do, but for me, like I was asking about the characters, some of the characters just didn't like speak out to me. The story was getting wonky towards the middle, and I was like losing interest. But it sounds like the game will keep you more interested because, well, games keep you more enticed with the story because you're part of it.
So Steve, if you go to Steam and you pull it up, and you look on the third like video that's on there, it like has kind of like a blue aura on it. Like if you look behind it, that talks about the imaginary chain and kind of how fighting works with it. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching it now. I see. I totally get what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So yeah. And I like I said, it you can test your like your hypothesis. So like you're not getting like if you think, okay, this is going to work, like it helps you with like your timing of when you want to plan another attack for somebody else. And I like that. Not that you're 100% guaranteed that it's going to happen. But I like the fact that you can kind of preview what could happen, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Nice. I like that.
Cool.
So, so that's what we've been playing. There's been a kind of a really big announcement that happened today, and that was from Xbox. And like we've been talking about that rumor to put the Switch, or they're going to put Xbox Live on Switch. Using like their XCloud process, their XCloud software, technology, whatever you want to call it. Well, they announced that today, and it's on iOS devices. So there was a person, So there was a person playing Forza 4 on an iOS device.
Okay, so I don't need to buy a Switch. Cool.
Just keep a good cell phone and and your controller. You're good.
Yep.
Wow.
I haven't watched all of it. Did they mention it for tablets, or right now is it just mobile?
It's just mobile. Well, any Android device actually. So
it's Android. So they haven't released it for iOS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their competitor has for iOS at the moment.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. So that's going to be the other thing that I was going to bring up too. So they made a big, huge deal out of it. Now, and it's a huge deal. I'm not going to take anything away from that. What I will say though is that the week prior to that, PlayStation did release an update to their Xbox. Oh my God, I can't even talk.
Whoa.
Yeah, to the PlayStation, and it's like 6.5 firmware, and you can remote play to tablets and to mobile phones on their system now on iOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's iOS. I don't think it's Android yet.
As far as everything I've read, it's only iOS. Only Apple at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. You can remote play on iOS devices. You can use PS4 remote play, connect to your PlayStation 4 system. So the biggest difference is that you see, like I said, I didn't watch the other one. I didn't watch Xbox's, but PlayStation, you have to be, I believe you can only remote play. So I don't think you can like take it to like your work and play off of that. I don't think. Like
it has to be on the same Wi-Fi network or something. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be on the same Wi-Fi or yeah.
Which I think on the Xbox, I don't think you need to do that.
No, they said they just said that if anywhere with a reliable internet connection.
Yeah, so there's a really big difference with that. The one thing I'm thinking about too is that one with that, okay, great, it's on a phone. How much is that really going to eat up your battery?
Ooh, that's true.
And your data.
Yeah, I could see that being an issue.
Wi-Fi everywhere, guys. That's what I say.
Yeah, Wi-Fi everywhere. I think honestly, I think these are just testing pilots for their new consoles that are coming out. I really feel that there's always, with how successful the Switch is, I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know if it's going to be a handheld peripheral. I don't know if it's going to be part of the console. I just see that there's going to be a push. Like last year was the push for Battle Royale. I think this year is going to be the push of how can we take our consoles mobile?
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that. Because I mean, even like not only mobile but digital, right? Because the Xbox, like the digital edition, which is the one without the drive on it, like right away they're saying it's digital, meaning it's in the cloud, right? Like your games. I mean, yeah, they're local because for gameplay reasons they have to be downloaded. But if it can just be streamed instead, I can totally see that Xbox also having like a stream only capability. Right. Of like, yeah, if you want to buy this and download it because you think your internet's going to go out, we could do that. Sure. But otherwise, all these games or maybe special games are going to be available, streaming only, meaning, streaming from the XCloud or whatever. I could see a big push for that. And then once people are on board with that, then they can say, okay, any mobile device that you have, be it a Switch or your phone or whatever, hey, we can just stream it right to that thing too. And then pretty soon, like there's not going to be a box anywhere. It's just going to be the stream. And when I say pretty soon, 5 to 10 years from now, but like that's the direction that we're headed is totally diskless and, streaming from somewhere else. The consoles aren't going to exist in this.
Wait, did you say diskless or did you say, never mind.
What?
Yeah. My Xbox is completely dickless. There's no dick on my Xbox unless I stand on it. No, like really like this, like if you're projecting this into the future, consoles are going to be gone and it's going to be streaming services just like DVDs and Blu-rays and, all those kinds of things. They're optional. But if you just want to have entirely digital services, like I've got Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and like all my stuff is streamed into my house. If games want to do the same thing, cool. Like that's why not,
Exactly.
So I think that's where we're headed. And that's going to be like years from now, not anytime soon, but this could be like a step in that direction for sure.
Okay. So then the question that I have, and maybe we can put this on a poll, for next week, when we do this.
Stripper poll.
I never think it's ever too late or too early to start talking about E3.
Okay.
E3
2020.
Yeah, it's E3 2020. So E3 2019. Okay, so maybe this is not the poll, but first off, are we going to see the diskless Xbox before E3?
I mean, they've kind of pseudo announced it already, so I'm going to say yes.
Okay. So we will see a price point, possibly a release date, and or what it looks like before E3 is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think we'll get to see it. We'll get to maybe a price, maybe not a price, but I don't think they're not going to tell us what all the features are until E3. Like I think they've got something hidden up their sleeve about these things, and I think they're going to wait for their special conference or whatever for that to happen.
Yeah. So at E3, and like I said, now since PlayStation's not going to be at E3, the question I guess then comes up is, are we going to see what is going to be the first console for the next generation? Which one's going to be the first one unveiled? Is it going to be an Xbox or is it going to be a PlayStation? And I'm not counting the diskless one because I think that's going to be current generation, just no disc.
Yeah, that's just an evolution of what they have now. Yeah.
So either PS5 or the new Xbox, right?
Or the new Xbox, the Xbox 2.
I don't think we're ever going to see a new Xbox, like a brand new, renamed, redesigned. I think all that we're going to get from this point forward are evolutions on what they've already got. It's going to be called an Xbox One suffix afterwards, and that's just what it's going to be.
I see them dropping the one.
I want it to be the Neo Xbox.
The Neo Xbox.
What do you guys think of that? I was gonna say Xbox Neo, but I like Neo Xbox better.
I mean, it sounds cool, but I really think that I don't think they'd do something like that. I kind of agree with Dan.
Microsoft hire me.
Yeah, hire him, please.
Yeah.
Use some more. I kind of agree with Dan that they'll drop it and just call it like the Xbox, or like maybe they'll put the in front of it or the in front of it.
Yeah.
Like just Xbox, right? Because that's what everyone calls it anyway.
Yeah. DA Xbox. Duh Xbox.
Xbox. These nuts.
Little X, big X, tilde, Xbox, tilde, big X, small X.
It's my turn with the Sexbox, and her name is Sony.
I totally think 100% we'll see PlayStation 5 and 6
I think
and
so
7.
Too.
Like that is their naming scheme. That's where they've hung their hat, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that their fans expect that. Like, this is the next gaming console. This is the next thing I want to get, and it's better than the previous one because it's got more, teraflops or whatever they're counting in the future. And that's the way it goes. And that's great. And I think that's definitely a way to go, and a successful way, especially for Sony right now, a very successful way to go. And I think Xbox is going the full digital way of saying, okay, we've made these boxes. They're super powerful, but people aren't really playing with them. Let's go digital. And let's shift over to, what PlayStation isn't doing. Let's go to a different market because we don't want to compete anymore. Right? Like,
it seems that's kind of what you're right. I think that's kind of what Xbox is trying to do. Like, Xbox is trying to unify the gaming world. Like, let's become unified. Like what we talked about 6 months ago, where it would be the, and I'm saying we called it first on this podcast. We called it first that there's going to be one console, there's going to be one box, or there's going to be one service for games, and it's whatever box you'd prefer to play on. But all the games are going to talk to each other. I think that there is a revolution happening, or there's going to be a revolution happening within the gaming industry. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I think it's going to be a more unified, revolution. So I didn't mean to cut you off, Steve. Want you finish your thought?
I mean, I totally agree with you. And yeah, I think Xbox, they're just going full digital. And I think pretty soon Xbox Live is going to be their brand. No longer Xbox One or Xbox One X, 5D, 7, whatever they turn into. It'll be the service that they'll be selling is Xbox Live. And if you purchase Xbox Live with the Game Pass add-on DLC, whatever they're going to call it, that is now your gaming library. You play it on your box, your Xbox at home. You play it on your Switch. You play it on your phone. You play it on your PC. Wherever you go, it makes that noise. Wherever you go, you sign on, and now you're playing the game that you left off with on a different device, and it's all in the cloud. And as long as you're connected to the internet, as long as you have a good connection, you're solid. And then I could see them also saying like that's for the casual. And then if you're a hardcore gamer, you have your Xbox One X 5.7D, whatever, and you have it plugged into a landline, so you get like all the best pings and internets as fast as you can go. And now you like that's the pro gamer. Like you can also go that route. You can download the stuff to your super fast solid state drive, so all the loading times are the fastest loading times. No streaming required. Everything's there. And they'll start selling that as a premium service. Like, you want a disc? You want it on your console physically? Well, that's going to cost you a little bit more. If you want to, be able to stream this thing wherever you go, well, it's not going to be as fast, but you can totally do it, and you're trading off for mobility. And most casual people are totally going to go that route. And you might have like 5 or 6 people who are like, oh man, Halo 27 multiplayer, like I've got to download that. I've got to play that, on my landline because I've got to get those 360 sniper, no scopes, whatever the kids are saying. Whereas everyone else is like, not everyone else, but then, the casual player is going, I'll just play it whenever I want to. And that's fine. You know?
Yep, you're right.
I think that's where we're going, and I think so, to continue talking, I think what Sony is gonna stay the course. I think they're gonna just keep on doing what they've been doing because it's shown to be incredibly successful, and the only way that they'll change is if Microsoft's model, if I am predicting correctly or accurately, if that starts changing things, only then will they start changing things, and Nintendo's gonna come out with something different with weird controllers that everyone's gonna buy because there's Mario and Pokemon's on it.
Yep. Well, I think to finish what I think the blog will be. So it's who's going to come out, with a new console first, because we know that it's going to happen. Yeah. Or what is it going to look like? The other two options that I have is, do we see a mobile peripheral something with them?
Nah.
Do we have a PlayStation with a Vita 2?
I don't think so.
Or are they going to go this route of you already have the peripheral in your hand, iPad, Android tablets, Samsung tablet,
laptops, whatever.
Yeah.
The BlizzCon talk. Don't you guys all have phones?
Don't you all have phones? Yeah, but we don't want to play a mobile Diablo.
Yeah, nobody wanted that. But I mean, they made a good point. Yeah, everyone does have phones. They just don't want to have mobile Diablo. But when you look back, if you look back into the history of gaming, do you remember how hard everybody laughed at Bethesda for selling horse armor DLC for Oblivion? They're like, what? You're going to spend money to just look different in a game? How ridiculous. No one will ever do that. And now there are entire games funded on just that premise of paying money to look different. And so you never know, like maybe they just, Blizzard tipped their hand on what the entire gaming community is moving towards. Yeah, we all have cell phones in our pockets. Yeah, we all like playing games. Why aren't we marrying the two together a little bit tighter? And maybe that's the direction, things are moving. And they just said it out loud to a crowd of angry people when they shouldn't have. Who knows?
So I think that's what's going to be our poll. So we'll get on that and we'll post that when this episode is posted. Of who do we think we're going to see first? Who's going to drop? Who's going to set the gauntlet, or who's going to set the bar of what has to be beaten and what people are looking at? I just think that I don't know if it's this year. I think it's going to go gangbusters next year in 2020 with just things that are going to be happening. I think we're going to get teases this year. And I don't think anything really big is going to happen until next year.
Yeah,
I second that.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that's mostly because of the year, because 2020 sounds like a change. It sounds different. We're no longer saying something teen anymore, right? Like there's going to be a mini cultural shift around 2020.
Yep.
And I think gaming is definitely going to be part of that. Like how great does that sound? PlayStation 5, holiday 2020. Like that
absolutely.
It just sounds powerful, even if the console is the same with a different coat of paint on it. Like the marketing potential behind 2020 is just too good to let pass. So I think we're going to be getting a lot of stuff coming out in 2020 that is announced or at least hinted at this year. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of stuff, games, consoles, whatever, that are like, we're working on something and it's coming out. Keep your eyes open for 2020, and that's
God.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Well,
start saving money.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's going to do it for tonight. This week, kind of a short show, but I think it was a good show.
One last thing. So remember, I'm giving away some free games.
That's right. I apologize about that.
I know. Yeah, I completely forgot too. So if you guys made it this long, if you made it to the end, you guys get a secret. I'm giving away free games. It's going to be in the link that I will give to Dan. So don't tell anyone. Only you guys who made it this far get to know.
The true fans.
We'll hide it. We'll hide it somewhere in the description where the link will be.
But yeah, I'm giving away a couple games. A buddy of mine gave me some Steam games that I already have, so I'm giving them away. There you go. So,
all right. So, well, Jesus is not only Jesus, but he's also Santa Claus. So, once again, I always like to reference like shows or whatever, and it just goes back to once again to Simpsons. Simpsons is like it's just a plethora of great phrases, and it's like has everybody forgotten the true meaning of Christmas, the birth of Santa Claus?
Yes.
But like I said, I think that's going to do it this week. I want to thank our partners, ouchthathurts.com. That's ouchthathurts, HERTZ.com. Go there and find reviews. Like I said, my review for the Caligula Effect Overdose will be on there sooner or later. Hopefully by the time this podcast posts or this episode posts. And also check out our other partner, the BS Podcast Network. That's BS Podcast. Why can't I remember this website? BSPodcastNetwork.com. Correct, Steve?
That is 100% correct.
Oh, yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. So BS Podcast Network, it's just, if you're looking for a podcast to listen to, you're going to find you just put it in there, search what you're looking for, and I guarantee you'll find it. Some great ones are on there. So for Dan, I'm saying goodnight, and you guys, thank you again for a great show, and I'll let you guys do the outro.
Good night.
Bye.